Hello and welcome back to Easy Peasy. I am so excited today because we're going to be reading a very exciting book today titled Moremi's Magic Pants. So take a look at the cover. You can pause and let me know what you think the story might be about, what you think might happen, and how you think the story might go. Before we begin, let's read the little blurb we have over here to find out more about our book today. Moremi's Magic Pants. Moremi finds herself in an unfamiliar place as soon as she puts on the gift from her aunt. How is she going to figure out where she is and what to do? I wonder what this gift is. I'm sure you can already guess. And I wonder what happens when she puts it on. Let's begin right away. I can't believe it, shouted Moremi as she launched towards her Aunt Dupe to wrap her in a tight embrace. I have missed you so much, she said, tears streaming down her face as she held onto her aunt. Since it had been a while, Moremi was eager to see her aunt, and she could barely keep still as she hopped from one foot to the other as though the floor was on fire. Aunt Dupe, who had been away on a business trip for months, held Moremi tightly and told her she had a special gift for her. I found this in a sweet little vintage store in Kaduna, said Aunt Dupe. I am certain you will love it. Moremi's face lit up with excitement as she used her fingers to carefully pull the package wrappings off. What will I find inside? She wondered, hoping it would be something she loved and enjoyed. As the last piece of wrapping fell to the ground, she gasped in amazement at what she saw. This is the most beautiful pair of trousers I've ever seen, Aunt Dupe, exclaimed Moremi as she stretched to give her aunt another hug. The pants were beige with brown stripes, cinched at the waist with the prettiest bow, and fled all the way down. Just the right amount of class with a bit of spice, she thought, excitedly. It felt great to spend quality time with Aunt Dupe today after such a long time apart, thought Moremi. She was tired, but in a good way. They had caught up on each other's lives, shared stories, and laughed a lot, and the cookies and cream-flavored ice cream was definitely a bonus. Before going to bed, she decided she had to try on her pants just to see how they fit. She definitely couldn't wait until the next day. As Moremi stood before the mirror in her room, tugging the pants off her legs, she felt a surge of excitement as she imagined how stunning she would look in her new outfit. She struck a pose when she was done putting on the pants. This would be perfect to wear on a trip to Paris, thought Moremi. She imagined eating the most buttery croissant one could find in France. As she had this thought, her room felt like it was spinning. She closed her eyes and took a deep breath, trying to shake off the tingling dizziness. Maybe it was just her hunger playing tricks on her mind. When she opened her eyes, Moremi gasped. She realized that she was no longer in her bedroom, but rather out on the street somewhere unfamiliar. She tried to remember how she got there, but her mind drew a blank and she panicked. Suddenly, she spun around and found herself standing at the foot of the Eiffel Tower in the heart of Paris. She couldn't believe her eyes. Was she dreaming? Did she have too much ice cream with Aunt Dupe? But hold on, she was still wearing the pants she got from her aunt. She spun around one more time. Although it seemed surreal, this felt like a dream come true. I am going to enjoy myself and make the most of whatever this is, she thought. She wondered what to do first. When she looked around, she noticed an elderly man with the fluffiest white mane. The crinkles around his eyes revealed a lifetime of laughter, joy, and his gentle smile put her at ease. Approaching him with cautious steps, Moremi asked, "Kind sir, do you happen to know of any interesting things I could do here?" The man's warm and friendly demeanor instantly made Moremi feel comfortable. He replied, "Of course, my dear. There are many exciting activities to do around here. You can start with a scenic boat ride, especially if you want to learn about the city's history." That sounded like a splendid idea. She thanked him and made her way to begin her adventure. She quickly grabbed some ice cream and waffles to enjoy on the boat ride. This was her first time getting on a boat. "I can't believe this," shouted Moremi. "I wish I could wrap this experience in my pocket to take home with me." As the boat cruise began, Moremi couldn't help but beam as she gazed at the Eiffel Tower illuminated by the sunset. She grabbed the audio guide, strapping on the headphones, keen on finding out details about the city's history and iconic monuments they passed by. The boat continued winding down the river, passing the Louvre Museum, the Musée d'Orsay, and Notre Dame Cathedral. The flavors and textures of the ice cream and waffles danced on her taste buds, filling Moremi with a sense of satisfaction and pleasure. The soothing sound of the water, the breathtaking view of Paris, and her belly full of warm waffles and cold ice cream made Moremi feel grateful for the opportunity to experience such a beautiful moment. The cruise ended far too quickly, and Moremi found herself wandering the streets of Paris in search of her next adventure. As she strolled through the streets of Paris, the aroma of freshly baked croissants wafted through the air, tempting her with their buttery scent. Intrigued, she followed her nose and soon found herself standing in front of a charming little cafe nestled in a quiet corner of the city. As she stepped inside, the warm and cozy atmosphere enveloped her. Moremi once again couldn't believe what happened next, and she squealed with joy. "This can't be happening!" She was greeted by the friendly pastry chef, Amma, with dark curly hair, eyes that sparkled, and a contagious smile, who invited her to join a croissant making class. Under the expert guidance of the pastry chef, she learned the art of creating perfect croissants, from folding the dough to shaping it into delicate crescents. As they waited for the croissants to bake, they sat down for a cup of hot chocolate and marshmallows. "This is a dream come true," sighed Moremi. "I am glad to have been part of making your dream come true," Amma replied. The croissants were flaky, golden, and utterly delicious, and Moremi was filled with a sense of accomplishment and pride. As she left the cafe, she felt a jolt of energy, but this feeling was a familiar one. She realized that this was the same feeling she got after putting on her magic pants. "I guess it's time to go home," Moremi said, smiling contentedly. Moremi closed her eyes, and when she opened them, she was back in her room. "Aunt Dupe, I owe you so much," she thought. The pants were much more than just a piece of clothing to her. They made her dreams come true, and she would never forget that. "I might just try this every night," pondered Moremi as she staggered towards her bed, exhausted from her adventure. "And who knows where my next adventure will take me?" And that brings us to the end of our story. If you had a pair of magic pants, where would you go and what would you do? Think about that for a moment, and I am excited to see what you think and what you come up with. You can have fun drawing what your magic pants would look like if you had one. And you can have fun making your favorite flavor of ice cream. You can pick a cone, pick as many scoops and flavors as you like, and some toppings. And you can draw that out in your book. Thank you for joining me today. Goodbye.